Hi, my name is Dominique Pivard. I'm a translator and I'm also known as Cat Guru on YouTube. SDL announced its OpenExchange platform in March 2010 and they recently published an infographics with key figures about things like the number of developers that have enrolled in the program, the number of users of OpenExchange applications, the percentage of free apps, and so on. In this video, I will review and comment these figures and put them into perspective. First, let's have a look at the top 10 of the most downloaded applications. All are free apps, which is hardly surprising, as people normally tend to prefer stuff they can get for free. Now, if we look at the number of downloads, we can see that the number 1 app was downloaded about 4,000 times, while number 10 was downloaded less than 1,000 times. These numbers are not really impressive when you compare them to the total size of the user base, which SDL claims to be more than 185,000 translation professionals. So even the most popular app was only adopted by a very tiny fraction of the total user base, 1 or 2%. And we have to remember that we are talking about downloads here. Just because you downloaded an app doesn't mean you are actually using it. And in the case of apps that have been updated several times, the same user may have also downloaded several times. This means the actual usage of OpenExchange apps is probably lower than what the download count suggests. Another interesting fact about the top 10 OpenExchange apps is that 6 out of 10 were written either by SDL, in which case the author appears as SDL community developers, or by SDL employees, which is the case of the second most popular app, Glossary Converter. And this means that third-party developers have to compete against insiders, people who work as programmers at SDL, and probably have access to resources not available to outsiders. Now, speaking of third-party developers, let's have a look at the top 5 paid apps. Rather interestingly, what is listed as the most popular paid app is in fact not an app. It's the Trader Studio manual written by Matt Slinder. So it doesn't make any use of the API and it's only included in the OpenExchange site because you can download an excerpt of the manual as PDF. If we look at real apps, we can see that the download counts are rather low. About 400 for number 2 and number 3, 150 for number 4, and 100 for number 5. So when SDL claims that more than 500 developers participate in the OpenExchange program, only a handful of them are going to make any money on OpenExchange apps. If it's about becoming rich and famous, they can probably forget about becoming rich and focus instead on becoming famous. Now, if we look at what most of these apps do in Studio, we can see that these are standard features in competing tools. For instance, support for My Memory is a built-in feature in MemoQ, Deja Vu, and several other tools. In MemoQ, you can export your terminology to CSV, edit it in Excel, and import it back. It's more or less what the Glossary Converter app for Studio does. SDL XLIF to Legacy Converter, well, MemoQ has a function called Export to Traders Compatible Bilingual Doc that does just that. SDL XLIF Converter for MS Office, again, MemoQ has Export to 2-column RTF. And the list goes on. So when SDL claims to be the only language technology company that has an app store and development hub, to a large extent it's because nimbler competitors like Kilgray are able to provide the same features built-in without the need for external plugins. 3 years ago, in March 2010, SDL claimed that they were set to revolutionize the translation industry with their OpenExchange platform. Now, in March 2013, they boast that over the past year, both numbers of developers and app downloads have doubled. Well, we all know the marketing folks at SDL are never shy of making bold statements, but I hope this video helped put all this into perspective. Now, what do you guys think? Is OpenExchange really revolutionary, or is it just yet another marketing gimmick? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for more similar content aimed at translators. Do hit that like button if you found this video useful, and see you in the next video.